LiberalViewer presents.
So I've made multiple videos showing the way Fox News spins polls, but the spin I saw put on a poll on the supposedly straight news program America Live this week was biased on at least 3 different levels, as I'll explain after you watch the 30-second clip spinning poll results that you can see here.
When asked if you were president, what would you do with the Bush tax cuts? Just 14% said I'd let them expire. Just 14%. The vast majority, when you put those numbers, we look at those other numbers, or at least the more than not, want to keep tax cuts in place for everyone, and 36% say at least if you make under $250,000, you should have your tax cuts.
You'd think that if you said you want to tax the rich, make them pay for it, you would think that a majority of people would say yes, tax them. That's the way to pay for it, get the deficit down. Your poll says no.
Of course, that's not even what the poll says, which is the first level of spin, because if you go back and look at Fox News' own poll, even there, 50% of respondents want to at least let some Bush tax cuts expire versus the 44% who want to keep tax cuts for everyone. But beyond that bogus spin the Fox News anchors put on their own Fox News Opinion Dynamics poll, it turns out the poll results themselves are heavily skewed, because I saw a Pew Research Center National Journal Congressional Connection poll taken that same week, and it had much different results, with 31, not 14%, saying they wanted all tax cuts repealed, the highest level since Pew began asking that question in 2004, and 58, not 50%, wanting at least some tax cuts repealed if you combine the last 2 categories. And when I looked at the other numbers in the polls, I found the problem was with the one from Fox News, because the Pew poll ended up polling about 29% Republicans, 31% Democrats, and 39% in other categories, which is close to the party affiliations found by other polling companies like Gallup or even the Fox News favorite Rasmussen. But that Fox News Opinion Dynamics poll on the Bush tax cuts questioned 366 Republicans, but only 336 Democrats and only 140 independents, making this poll representative not of the real America, but some Fox News skewed America. But even beyond those 2 levels of spin in which Fox News put bogus spin on an essentially bogus poll, the other level of bias in this Fox News segment was the way the report just concentrated on the poll and the spin without ever providing any real facts, as you can see in the questions without answers that Fox News business anchor Stuart Varney gave viewers in this clip.
The question is, if you raise taxes on the rich, do you get small businesses to start hiring more people? If you raise taxes on the rich, do you really reduce the deficit in the long term? If you raise taxes on the rich, do you really help the economy as it's slowing down? If you raise taxes on the rich, is it moral to take more than half of a rich person's income? Those are the questions that are being asked. On the other side of the fence is President Obama, who says redistribute the wealth, raise taxes on the rich come January the 1st.
Now, not only is that a caricature of the Obama administration position, but the Fox News anchor's questions never really give any answers to the Fox News viewers about the real cost of those Bush-era tax cuts and their effect on the deficit, even though I've been hearing so much on Fox News for so many months about the deficit when it comes to Obama administration stimulus spending. Yet, in that entire supposedly straight news segment, Fox News never mentioned the actual effect of the Bush-era tax cuts on the deficit, which you can see included on a great CNN program I watch every Sunday morning called Fareed Zakaria GPS, which, even in an opinion segment called Fareed's Take, unlike Fox News, provided the important information to CNN viewers you can see here.
George Bush's massive tax cuts are the single largest chunk of our structural budget deficit. Take a look at this chart. It shows the deficit growth over the next 10 years, and the red stripe shows just how much those Bush tax cuts add to the deficit.
Yet somehow that fact about the actual effect of the Bush-era tax cuts on the U.S. structural deficit never made it into that Fox News story, which, along with the bogus spin the Fox News anchors put on their own bogus poll, makes at least 3 levels of bias in this one supposedly straight news story. At least that's what I think, but I want to know what you think. Just from the clips I showed, could you see multiple levels of bias in this story from a supposedly straight news program on Fox News? And on the bigger issue of whether to pass legislation stopping the Bush-era tax cuts from expiring, should the U.S. Congress extend the Bush-era tax cuts for everyone? Extend them only for those making less than $250,000 per year? Or do nothing and let the Bush tax cuts expire, returning rates to the levels of the Clinton administration?
YouTube, you decide.